Did you know there's a millionaire plan that anyone can copy even starting from scratch? It doesn't matter if you earn little, if you've never invested, or if you've tried and failed. What you'll see today is a practical, accessible, and proven roadmap for building real wealth in 2025. In this video, I'll show you the 10 steps that make up a solid financial plan, based on real habits of wealthy people and that you can start implementing today. After years of studying finance, investing, and helping thousands of people change their mindset, I've gathered what really works. No magic formulas or empty promises. If you're tired of living on the edge and want to turn things around, stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn here could be the turning point in your financial life. Asterisk, most people live in a financial cycle that seems impossible to break. They work hard, receive their salary, pay bills, cover debts, and at the end of the month, there's little or nothing left. And this pattern repeats itself, year after year. Have you ever felt this way? Like you're running on a treadmill, without moving forward. The frustration of watching time pass and realizing that, despite your efforts, your financial life remains stagnant. This feeling is more common than it seems. And it's not just about how much you earn, but how you handle money, your daily decisions, and, most importantly, your mindset. Many people believe that getting rich is a matter of luck, inheritance, or a high salary. But the truth is, there are people who started from absolute zero without support, knowledge, or resources and built millions of dollars in wealth through discipline, strategy, and a long-term vision. Asterisk, I've heard incredible stories. A housekeeper who started saving $50 a month and now has a paid-off apartment. A street vendor who became a digital entrepreneur. A young man who started investing with $100 and now lives off his income. These people didn't have any special advantages. What they had was clarity of purpose, focus, and a plan. And that's exactly what you'll learn here. The problem isn't you, but the lack of a clear, replicable, and accessible model. Something anyone can follow, adapting to their own reality. And that's why this video exists. To show that yes, it is possible to build wealth even starting small, even facing difficulties. From now on, you'll understand how this millionaire plan works. A plan that doesn't depend on luck, but on action. And that can be the game changer in your financial life. Asterisk, now that you understand the challenges that hinder most people's financial lives, it's time to look ahead. There is a path on, it starts with clarity. The millionaire plan you'll learn about today consists of 10 steps. Each represents a strategic shift, a course adjustment that, combined with the others, builds a solid path toward financial freedom. These steps don't require you to be a financial expert, nor do they require a lot of money to begin with. What they do require is commitment, discipline, and a willingness to change. Asterisk, let's talk about mindset, how wealthy people think and make decisions. We'll understand the 3 pillars that support any wealth plan: income, investment, and scalability. You'll discover how to multiply your income, where to invest wisely, how to manage expenses without suffering, and how to build a network of contacts that accelerates your growth. Asterisk. We'll also address the most common mistakes that sabotage this plan. Of course, conclude with a practical roadmap to get you started today. If you apply these steps consistently, the plan stops being a theory and becomes reality. And that reality can be $1 million one. Asterisk, it all starts in the mind. Before any investment, before any strategy, it's how you think about money that defines your results. The millionaire mindset isn't about showing off, it's about vision, patience, and emotional intelligence. Wealthy people think long-term. They don't make financial decisions based on impulse or status. They see money as a tool, not an end. And this completely changes how they act. While most seek immediate gratification, the new cell phone, the latest car, the expensive restaurant, those with the millionaire mindset seek freedom. They prefer to invest in assets that generate returns, even if the pleasure is delayed. Asterisk, this mindset also involves taking full responsibility for one's own financial life. No blaming the government, the boss, or the market. The self-made millionaire understands that control is in their hands, and that's liberating. Another fundamental point is their relationship with risk. Those with a millionaire mindset don't shy away from risk, but learn to manage it. They study, prepare, and test. And when they make mistakes, they learn and adjust their plan. Asterisk, want a practical example. Imagine 2 people with $1,000. One buys new clothes to look good at work. The other invests in a sales course, improving their performance and increasing their income. The difference isn't in the money, it's in the mindset. To start developing this mindset, do a self-analysis. What are your beliefs about money? Do you believe that getting rich is wrong? That only those born rich win? That investing is too risky? These limiting ideas need to be replaced with constructive thoughts. Asterisk, the immediate action here is simple. Start consuming content that expands your vision. Read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, listen to podcasts about finance, and follow channels that talk about financial freedom, like this one. The benefit: you start making smarter, more strategic decisions. And that, over time, changes everything. Because when your mind changes, your behavior changes. and when your behavior changes, the results appear. Asterisk, once you've adjusted your mindset, it's time to structure your plan. It rests on 3 fundamental pillars: income, investment, and scalability. If you master these 3, you'll be building a solid foundation for reaching your millionaire status. The first pillar is income. Without money coming in, there's no way to invest or grow. But here's a caveat. It's not just about increasing your salary. It's about understanding how to create value, solve problems, and be rewarded for it. It could be with a job, a service, a product, or even digital content. Asterisk, the second pillar is investment. This is where money starts working for you. Investing isn't just for those who have a lot, it's for those who want a lot. And the sooner you start, the more time works on your side. Whether in fixed income, stocks, real estate funds, or ETFs, the important thing is to start and maintain consistency. The third pillar is scalability. It's what differentiates those who simply make money from those who build wealth. Scaling means increasing your earnings without proportionally increasing your effort. An example, a designer who creates an online course, they work once and sell hundreds of times. That's scalability. Asterisk, these 3 pillars complement each other. Income fuels investment. Investment generates returns, and scalability multiplies all of this. When you understand this dynamic, you begin to see opportunities where you previously saw limitations. Want a practical example? Imagine you provide services as a video editor. Your income comes from the projects you deliver. You start investing part of your earnings in an index fund. Then, you create a course teaching editing to beginners. Now you have active income, investment, and a scalable product. That's the game. Asterisk, the immediate action here is, analyze your current life and identify which pillar is weakest. Is it income? Start looking for ways to increase it. Is it investment? Study and start small. Is it scalability? Think about how to transform your knowledge into something replicable. With these 3 pillars aligned, the millionaire plan stops being a distant dream and begins to become a real project. Asterisk, with the pillars defined, it's time to strengthen the most powerful and most overlooked of assets: knowledge. Financial education is what separates those who simply earn money from those who know how to multiply it. And, surprisingly, it's the least taught in schools, families, and even companies. Without financial education, you might increase your income, but you'll remain trapped in bad decisions, expensive debt, impulsive spending, and poor investments. Have you ever seen someone earn well and still live in debt? This happens because the money arrived before they were prepared. Asterisk, the good news is that this asset is accessible. You don't need a college degree or large investments to get started. Today, there are free books, videos, podcasts, and courses that teach everything from the basics to advanced strategies. What's lacking isn't resources, it's priorities. Wealthy people study finance like survival. They understand compound interest. They know the difference between assets and liabilities, and they understand the risks and opportunities of each investment. And, most importantly, they make decisions based on knowledge, not emotion. Asterisk, want a practical example? Imagine someone who understands the power of compound interest. This person avoids paying off installments with interest, invests regularly, and knows that time is their ally. Those who ignore this concept constantly pay the minimum on their credit card and accumulate debt that snowballs. Asterisk, the immediate action here is simple. Choose a source of learning and commit to it. It could be a book like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, a YouTube channel, or an online course. The important thing is to study every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. The benefit: you begin to see money clearly. You begin to understand what previously seemed complicated. And this understanding gives you power, the power of choice, of strategy, of growth. With financial education, you stop being a hostage to the system and start playing the game intelligently. And that changes everything, because whoever masters this asset masters their own destiny. Asterisk, with your mindset in place, your foundations in place, and your knowledge expanding, it's time to step up your game. Multiply your income. This is where the millionaire plan begins to gain momentum. Most people rely on a single source of income, mostly their salary, and that's dangerous. If that source fails, everything falls apart. Millionaires, however, think differently. They build multiple sources of income, creating security and growth potential. But be careful. Multiplying your income doesn't mean working twice as hard. It means using what you already know, do, or have to generate value in different ways. It could be a service, a product, content, or a skill. The key is identifying monetization opportunities that fit into your routine. Asterisk, want practical examples. A teacher can give private lessons online. A designer can sell ready-made templates. A driver can create content about urban mobility. A student can earn money by proofreading texts. It all starts with a question: what can I do that solves someone's problem? Furthermore, there are platforms that facilitate this process. Freelance websites, marketplaces, affiliate programs, social media. It's never been easier to turn free time into extra income. Another powerful path is digital. Create a channel, a profile, a blog, an ebook. It may seem small at first, but with consistency, these initiatives can generate passive income, the kind that keeps coming in even when you're not working. Asterisk, the immediate action here is, take inventory of your skills, passions, and experiences. List everything you know how to do well. Then, think about how this could be turned into a service, a product, or a piece of content. Choose an idea and take the first step today. The benefit: you reduce your dependence on a single source, increase your investment capacity, and accelerate your journey to $1 million. Because when your income multiplies, the plan strengthens. And the best part, you don't have to wait. You can start now, with what you have, where you are. And that already puts you ahead of the curve. Asterisk, with multiple sources of income being built. The next step is to make your money work for you. And this only happens when you invest wisely. Saving money is important, but investing is essential. It's what turns effort into wealth. Smart investments aren't about getting rich quick. They're about building wealth consistently, safely, and strategically. And the best part, you don't need much to get started. You need clarity, discipline, and knowledge, which you're already developing. The first step is to understand the types of investments. Fixed income, such as Treasury Direct and CDBs, is ideal for those just starting out and seeking security. Variable income, such as stocks and real estate funds, offers greater potential returns but requires more research and risk tolerance. Asterisk, next comes diversification. Don't put all your money in a single asset. Spreading your investments reduces risk and increases stability. A good start might be to build a portfolio with 70% in fixed income and 30% in equities and adjust as your profile evolves. Another essential concept is compound interest. When you reinvest earnings, growth accelerates. It's the famous money-making money. The longer you leave it invested, the greater the impact. That's why starting early is so powerful. Asterisk, want a practical example? By investing $200 per month in an ETF that yields 10% per year, you can accumulate over $100,000 in 20 years. And this without needing to increase the amount invested, just by maintaining consistency. The immediate action here is, open an account with a reliable brokerage. Choose a simple investment and start with what you can afford, even if it's just $50. The important thing is to get involved. Asterisk, the benefit: you create a silent and constant source of growth. As you work, your investments grow, and over time, this foundation can transform into financial freedom. Investing is planting today to reap tomorrow, and the sooner you plant, the more abundant the harvest. Asterisk, investing is essential. But to invest consistently, you need to control your spending. And here comes one of the most powerful and least talked about habits of wealthy people. They avoid buying things that don't generate real value. Contrary to what many people think, wealthy people don't go around spending on everything. They are selective. They know how to differentiate between wants and needs. They know how to say no to and they understand that every dollar spent is a dollar that could be growing in an investment. Asterisk, while many people pay for clothes, cell phones, and dinners in installments, self-made millionaires prioritize assets. They avoid consumer debt, don't make impulse purchases, and prefer lasting experiences to goods that quickly lose value. Want a practical example? A young person with a millionaire mindset thinks twice before upgrading their cell phone. They evaluate whether their current model still delivers value, whether the new one offers a real return, and whether the money could be better used for an investment. This simple analysis avoids unnecessary expenses and keeps them focused on their plan. Asterisk, another important point is tracking. Rich people know exactly where every penny goes. They use spreadsheets, apps, or simple methods like the envelope method. The goal is clarity, because what isn't measured can't be improved. The immediate action here is, download a financial tracking app or create a simple spreadsheet. Record all your expenses for 30 days. At the end, analyze what can be cut, reduced, or replaced. You'll be surprised at how much you can save without losing quality of life. Asterisk, the benefit: you free up money to invest, reduce financial stress, and develop a sense of responsibility that stays with you for life. What's more, you begin to consume consciously, valuing what truly matters. Spending control isn't about living with less, it's about living better, with more freedom, more purpose, and more choice. And this is essential for anyone who wants to build a truly millionaire plan. Asterisk, controlling your spending is essential. But what truly turns a millionaire plan into reality is discipline. And more than that, consistency. This is the silent secret of the rich, the one thing no one sees, but which makes all the difference. There's no point in starting well and then giving up halfway. Financial growth is like a marathon, not a sprint. And the winner isn't the fastest, but the most consistent. Rich people have financial routines. They invest monthly, review their spending regularly, study frequently, and stay focused even when results are slow to appear. They know that time is a powerful ally and that giving up too soon is wasting that power. Asterisk, discipline starts with small decisions, avoiding impulse purchases, maintaining the habit of investing, studying, even when tired, and consistency is what turns these habits into results. Don't want a practical example? Imagine someone who invests $100 per month for 10 years. It seems small, but with compound interest, that could turn into over $20,000. Now imagine someone who starts and stops in the third month. The difference isn't in the amount, it's in the consistency. Another important point is emotional management. In times of crisis, the market fluctuates, spending tightens, and motivation drops. And that's where discipline is tested. Those who stick to the plan, even on difficult days, build a solid and resilient foundation. The immediate action here is, create a simple system to maintain consistency. It could be a monthly reminder on your phone, a goal spreadsheet, or a support group. The important thing is to have something that keeps you on track. Asterisk the benefit. You build a track record of good decisions, and that track record is what generates exponential results. Because financial success doesn't come from one big success, it comes from hundreds of small successes repeated over time. Discipline and consistency aren't glamorous, but they're what sustain the Millionaire Plan when the excitement wears off. And whoever masters these two forces masters the game. Asterisk, discipline and consistency build the foundation. But to accelerate your Millionaire Plan, you need something that's not in the books, the right connections, the famous networking, and more than that, strategic positioning. Wealthy people understand that growth doesn't happen in isolation. They surround themselves with people who think big, who have vision, who share opportunities. And this isn't a coincidence, it's a strategy. Asterisk networking isn't about flattery or asking for favors. It's about building genuine relationships, offering value, learning from others, and being present in the right environments. Events, mentoring, communities, study groups, all of these open doors you never knew existed. Positioning, on the other hand, is how you present yourself to the world. It's the image you build, the content you share, the values you convey. Well-positioned people attract opportunities. They are remembered, recommended, and valued. Asterisk want a practical example. A young person starts sharing financial tips on Instagram. He's not an expert, but he speaks clearly, consistently, and purposefully. Soon, he starts getting invited to live streams, events, and partnerships, all because he positioned himself with authenticity and value. Another example, someone who joins a local entrepreneurs group. There, they meet suppliers, clients, and mentors. And these connections accelerate their business, their income, and their vision. The immediate action here is, choose an environment to engage in. It could be a WhatsApp group, an online community, or an in-person event. Start connecting with people who are on the same journey or who have already reached your goal. The benefit, you gain access to ideas, shortcuts, partnerships, and encouragement. Because when you hang out with people who grow, you grow too. And when you position yourself clearly, the world begins to see you as someone who deserves to grow. Networking and positioning aren't about luck, they're about intention. And those who use these tools intelligently turn their Millionaire Plan into a much closer reality. Asterisk, you can have the right mindset, well-structured foundations, knowledge, income, investments, and even good connections. But if you're not aware of the most common mistakes, all of this can be sabotaged. And this is where many people slip up. The first mistake is rushing. They want quick results, ignore the process, and end up falling for miraculous promises. Financial scams, pyramid schemes, baseless investments, all of this stems from the anxiety of getting rich without building. And the Millionaire Plan doesn't work that way. It requires time, patience, and vision. Another mistake is a lack of emotional control. The market drops, motivation fluctuates, results take time. And then comes discouragement, abandoning the plan, and returning to old habits. Wealthy people are not immune to this, but they have strategies to deal with these moments. They breathe, adjust, and move forward. Asterisk, there's also the error of comparison. Looking at your neighbor, your influencer, your coworker, and thinking you're behind. This leads to frustration and hasty decisions. The Millionaire Plan is personal. Everyone has their own pace, their own reality, their own path. Another saboteur is the lack of review. You start well, but you don't follow through. You don't adjust goals, you don't analyze results, you don't correct routes. And then, even with effort, the plan loses momentum. Reviewing is essential monthly, quarterly, annually. It's what keeps the plan alive. Want a practical example? Someone starts investing, but doesn't study. They choose assets without understanding, fall into fads, ignore the risks. When they lose money, they give up. Another invests little, but with strategy. They learn, adjust, and grow. The difference lies in paying attention to mistakes. Asterisk, the immediate action here is, make a list of your most common financial mistakes. It could be impulsiveness, lack of control, disorganization, or fear of investing. Then, write down an action next to each one to correct. This simple exercise can change your trajectory. The benefit, you avoid setbacks, save energy, and accelerate results. Because the Millionaire Plan isn't just about what to do. It's also about what to avoid. Correcting mistakes is a sign of intelligence, and those who learn from them build a safer, faster, and more solid path toward financial freedom. Asterisk after understanding the fundamentals, correcting mistakes, and visualizing the path, the most important moment arrives, taking action, because the Millionaire plan only works when it's put into practice. And the good news is that you can start today with what you have, where you are. The first step is to create your own plan. Grab a pen and paper or open a spreadsheet and write down the 10 topics we've covered here. Next to each one, define a practical action you can take in the next 7 days. Nothing complex. The goal is to create momentum. For example, mindset. Choose a book to start reading. Income. List 3 ideas from parallel sources. Investment. Open a brokerage account. Expense control. Download an app and track your expenses. Networking. Join an online finance group. These simple actions create traction, and when you start moving, the plan comes to life. The important thing here isn't perfection, it's consistency. Even if you make mistakes, adjust, and keep going. The plan is flexible, adaptable, and yours. Another essential point is setting goals. Where do you want to be financially in 1 year? In 5 years, how much do you want to invest per month? How much do you want to accumulate? Write these goals down and review them regularly. They will be your GPS. A practical example. Imagine you want to accumulate $50,000 in 5 years. That's about $830 per month. If today you can only invest $200, your plan needs to include increasing your income, cutting expenses, and scaling. With clear goals, you can see the path. The immediate action here is, create your personal action plan. Don't wait for Monday or your next paycheck. Start now, because every day you delay is a day your investments could be growing. The benefit, you move from passive mode to builder mode. And when you build with purpose, the results appear. Not magically, but solidly, consistently, and transformatively. The Millionaire plan isn't a destination, it's a journey. And that journey